dome is built, the bricks are laid, the flue gallery's on. We're waiting for all of this to set before we can pull the formwork out. What we can do now is put on the ceramic fibre blanket layer. Now, ceramic fibre blanket is made of alumina silicate fibres. It's not asbestos or anything like that. However, it's not good for you. You're going to be wearing a mask. Make sure you've got a mask that's at least rated to class P2, which is for particles. So we're not worried about fumes, we're just worried about small particles. So make sure you have a decent mask. Some safety glasses. You'll still want your rubber gloves, but I also want to protect my forearms because you tend to be quite involved with the blanket. You end up hugging the oven sometimes. So what we've actually put in the kit is a little bit entertaining. My beautiful assistant Marcus will now assist me. You may have seen these before. These are more familiar with cows than building ovens, but we found they're really good for protecting our arms. I know I look ridiculous, but at least I'm gonna go home and I won't be itchy, because if you get the stuff on your arms, it is quite itchy. Now, it isn't designed for using blanket, so it is quite delicate. So what you do is you'll get your normal rubber gloves and put them on over the top, and that's going to protect these guys from tearing. Alright? Well aware of how I look, and I'm sure it's ridiculous, but I don't care. Safety first. So we've given the castable some time to cure. It is set rock hard now, so we can peel off our Glad wrap. Again, the idea of the Glad wrap was just to make sure that the castable didn't dry out too quickly and get drying tricky cracking. You see that's set really nicely. I'm not actually seeing any cracks in this one. Now remember, it doesn't matter if this is a bit lumpy and bumpy. You won't notice it. You can smooth it all out with your render later on. So now I'm going to get the ceramic fibre blanket. I'm going to start here with the roll, and I'm going to bring it around. Now as I go, I'm going to cut V's, a V shape, into the top half of the blanket so that it can fold in and not overlap. Just cut these V shapes. Doesn't matter if you take out a little bit too much, you can always get a bit of this, peel it off, fold it off, and put it back in if you're worried you've taken out too much. So don't panic, this is a very forgiving process. So we just repeat the same process that we did before. In order to hold the blanket on and stop it from blowing away, we're going to lash it down with tie wire. Now we need lashing points. We need somewhere for the tie wire to loop around. So what we're going to do is take these big nails, we're going to drive them through the blanket into the calcium silicate board and just leave about 15 mil hanging out the end, which will be a perfect little point to loop our wire around. I'm going to keep all my safety gear on because the blanket's still exposed. All right, now we're going to go over so at the moment these are loose and we want to lash them all down. So go up on one of those and then back over the top on the next one. So we just brought this last bit down here because I want to make sure these bits don't want to come out. Now we'll go around a couple of times and we'll just leave that. Now we're going to put our chicken wire on. Then we're going to use this to go back over the chicken wire and make sure the chicken wire is all tied down. So I'm just using this wire and twisting it around the nails to hold it on. For this, I used to borrow my mum's scissors to do a lot of things like this. She didn't appreciate that. Tin snips are going to work better, but this is very light gauge wire. Should be able to get through with purse scissors or just with a pair of pliers. So now we're going to get the tie wire. We're going to go back around the base just to catch these little bits that are currently hanging out. We're going to pull them back in and
And we're also going to go over the top here to pull this down hard, because we don't want this hanging out when we render it. We really want it all pulled in nice and tight.
Chicken wire is now all tied down. Get you to go over it and look for any bits that might be sticking up, and you can just push them down, sort of crimp them together with your fingers. We just want to not have any bits of wire that are hanging out into our render. We're going to put 50 millimeters of render on here, which is quite a lot. So that will cover over a multitude of scenes. But if we push it in now, we'll have an easier time when it comes to rendering.